Hello friends and welcome to Fire Emblem Discussion. We're continuing our countdown of my favorite Fire Emblem games, and we're on number 5, which is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance was my first Fire Emblem game, the first one I played start to finish, and I adore it to this day. The only thing keeping it from being just a little higher for me is its slow gameplay. Enemy phases can be day and a half long. It can be a little tedious at times, but I love its story. I love its characters. My favorites being Oscar Boyd and Rolf. I love their brother dynamic and the way they interact with each other. And Ike is a fun protagonist to me, at least. You know, this wide-eyed, just doesn't know much about the world, and we get to see it through his eyes, and him just to be like, yo, racism, it's bad. It's just such a good story, and to see, you know, essentially it's almost like a rags to riches story, except, you know, from mercenary to general of a country's army story, and it is just so meaningful to me personally. It is such a good game. So I think my favorite chapter in Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is the one at the port town. I believe it's chapter 10, Blood Runs Red, where you recruit Zehark and the Black Knight shows up out of nowhere. That chapter will forever be stuck in my mind as a really just well-made, influential chapter for the game. You know, there's so many side objectives, there's so many things to get done, whether it's recruiting Zehark, whether it's not killing the vigilantes, and for the bonus experience, avoiding the Black Knight and visiting on the houses to get all the items. It is an intense, tense like 10 turns of just, or less probably, of just trying to get everything done before the Black Knight comes to murder you. And it is such a good time. I remember my first time playing, I was like, oh, Titania, because I was like, oh, Titania's so strong. I was like, Titania can handle him. This because I was a kid and didn't check the numbers or anything, so I just sent her over there, and she got destroyed, of course, which was disappointing to say the least, but, you know, it makes sense. And then it struck fear in me. Anytime the Black Knight showed up, I was like, that dude's serious. He murdered Titania, like she was nothing. So, such a good game. I love Path of Radiance, I always will. And again, the only reason it's not a little higher on the list is because it's tedious to go back and play. I've tried playing it a few times since being back from that church mission I talked about in the last video, and it's slow. It's hard for me to get into, but it is still. If you haven't played it, it's definitely worth a play. Really good story, really fun gameplay. The skills are fun to use and utilize, and there's fun skill combinations like Wrath Resolve or Adept Wrath or Wrath Vantage, of course, is a classic. But yeah, let me know in the comments any special memories you have with Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and also just your thoughts on it. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.